Imagine waking up tomorrow and everyone you know is absolutely convinced that a city named Arkham never existed. You look at the official maps, the ones printed just yesterday, and where your apartment building should be, there is only an empty, nameless desert. You frantically check your phone. No photos, no chat history, no digital footprints. It's as if you lived your entire life in a ghost story, but you remember the streets. You remember the exact smell of the heavy rain hitting the concrete, the layout of the grocery store, the faces of your neighbors who now look at you like a dangerous stranger. This isn't a plot of a dystopian sci-fi movie. In 1978, a highly classified Soviet psychological experiment codenamed Project Nemazny attempted to achieve the impossible. Their goal was not to physically destroy a city with bombs or weapons. It was far more sinister, to delete the collective memory of that city from the minds of its own citizens while they were still living inside it. It stands as the most absurd, deeply terrifying psychological anomaly ever recorded in modern history, a mass identity theft executed by the state. And now, nearly 40 years after the files were supposedly burned, the few aging survivors scattered across the globe are starting to wake up, remembering the exact same terrifying nightmare. The nightmare began with a deeply unsettling question posed by a brilliant yet deeply unstable Soviet neurologist, Dr. Ilya Tolstoy. He asked, if human memory is nothing more than electrical patterns in the brain, can we overwrite those patterns using nothing but invisible, ambient, low-frequency sound waves? To test this chilling hypothesis, the military high command selected Arkham. It was a closed, isolated military outpost deep in the Ural Mountains, home to exactly 12,000 citizens. There were no soldiers marching down the streets with rifles. Instead, technicians quietly modified the city's power grid, turning every streetlight, radio tower, and electrical wire into a weapon. They designed the towers to continuously emit a subtle, completely imperceptible 7 Hz infrasound frequency. It was broadcasted 24 hours a day, vibrating at the exact resonant frequency of the human skull. In his private journals, Dr. Tolstoy clinically referred to this invisible, low-frequency hum as the white noise of oblivion. For the first 6 months of the broadcast, life seemed perfectly normal. People went to their factory shifts, children walked to school, and the town functioned like clockwork. But beneath the surface, the constant 7 Hz vibration was slowly eroding the human brain's neural filing system. The mind's hard drive was starting to glitch. At first, the symptoms were minor. People forgot where they left their keys, forgot the exact color of their front doors, or struggled to remember the names of childhood pets. But by winter, the minor glitches mutated into something far larger and much more terrifying, a coordinated, collective hallucination. By day 300, the psychological disintegration reached a violent breaking point. The Mandela Effect was no longer an internet conspiracy. It was a localized physical reality. A husband would return from his day shift, open the door to his home, and find his wife of 10 years screaming in terror, calling the police because she genuinely had no idea who he was. And when the authorities arrived, they didn't arrest the wife. They checked the newly modified city database, and the paperwork coolly stated that the man had never been married. Whole neighborhoods dissolved into chaotic shouting matches. Neighbors argued violently over property lines because everyone's internal map of the streets had completely shifted overnight. But here is the most deeply unsettling part of Project Nemazny. The citizens did not panic for long. They didn't rebel. The constant 7 Hz weaponized frequency had induced a profound state of hyperapathy. Their brains were re-engineered to accept any new, distorted version of reality instantly, without question. If a mother woke up and found her child's bedroom completely empty, and the state radio announcer casually stated that she had never given birth, she wouldn't cry. She would look at the empty space, nod blankly, clean the room, and completely forget the child ever existed within an hour. The physical bricks of the city remained intact, but its entire human history, its love, its trauma, and its memories were being rewritten in real time by a continuous electrical hum. On October 12, 1981, the experiment was abruptly and mysteriously shut down by military order. The shutdown didn't happen because Project Nemazny failed. It happened because it succeeded too perfectly. The mind control was absolute. The citizens had lost the core structures of basic cognitive function. They had forgotten how to speak their own language. They sat in their kitchens staring at plates, having forgotten how to eat. They had become hollow physical vessels walking around with completely wiped hard drives. Biological ghosts. Within 48 hours, a silent military convoy rolled into Arkham. They evacuated all 12,000 blank-minded citizens in the dead of night, like loading cargo. The residents were scattered scattered systematically across the vast, freezing expanses of the Soviet Union, separated from one another and given completely fabricated identities. Soviet handlers monitored them for decades, feeding them fake backstories, fake childhood memories, and fake family lineages until the old realities were buried deep under the propaganda. As for the physical city of Arkham, it was meticulously dismantled. Every single brick, every water pipe, every electrical wire was crushed into dust until absolutely nothing remained but barren dirt. If you travel to those exact top secret coordinates today, you will find something deeply strange. A perfect, pristine circle of dense forest where trees refuse to grow straight. Every tree in that dead zone grows in twisted, unnatural, spiraling, corkscrew shapes. It's as if the very soil itself still vibrates, remembering the frequency that shattered human reality. When the Soviet Union finally collapsed, the files and audio tapes of Project Minimazny were allegedly tossed into incinerators and burned forever. But the anomaly didn't die in the ashes. In fact, it evolved. Today, millions of people all across the globe experience the exact same phenomenon, the Mandela Effect. We remember famous brand names written differently. We vividly remember historical world events, movie deaths, and cultural milestones that global records now insist never happened. We swear with absolute certainty that we remember watching movies from our childhood that mainstream databases claim do not exist.